What up, everybody? There's nobody watching. Hello, everybody. Got my Team Potato thermos ready to go. Need to turn up the volume here. Before we start, if you could let me know, is the audio and the video okay? Ooh, I got a crazy delay here on my end. It's okay, or it sucks. I'm using a new live streaming software called Ecamm, and I haven't really used it much before, so this is all... that was supposed to... Okay, just a sec. I understand why the audio's happening. Speakers. Okay, is that any better? Let me know. Again, sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. It was connecting to my Bluetooth speakers, so I think it was causing an echo thing. Let me know. But what up, everybody? Good evening. This is like the first live I've done at this time of day. It just seems like it's probably better to go now than when I usually go, which is way earlier. I don't know what I was thinking. Welcome to 2023. This is officially the first video on this channel here in 2023. And that is kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. And then we'll do just like a Q&A. It's super informal. But some of the things that I wanted to talk about was just like how the channel went, some channel updates. So how 2022 went, the not so great, and how we're going to be changing things up in 2023. I alluded to this somewhat in the last video, the goals video, but I wanted to just do an actual breakdown of what's going on and answer any questions that you might have. So if you can give me thumbs ups on whether or not the stream looks and sounds good. Hey, what's up, Raph? My buddy Raphael just joined. Raph, you can help me out. Does it look and sound okay? Let me know. I think I hazed the room a little too much. We're getting some pretty gnarly halation from it. Okay, we got a thumbs up. Denise says, yes. Tyler says, thumbs up. Tyler just won the last giveaway, him and Brandon. So they just won a 12-month Whoop membership. Superstar. Oh, Raph. I'm trying to click on this. I want to give Raph some love. There we go. Raphael, thanks, man. That's insanely kind of you. Super generous. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Raphael is a friend of mine in the YouTubosphere, the YouTubiverse. He's got an awesome channel himself, and he's really good with like Final Cut Pro and a few other things, and DaVinci Resolve. But that's like the other side of YouTube. It's funny because like I do this, and you guys have seen my channel. It's very much about fitness and technology and the intersection of the two. I don't follow like a single channel that has anything like that. Like I don't follow any fitness channels or anything. I just follow like cinematographers and editors. Anyway, Raph also says, hit the like button. What is going on? Like, nothing works right now. Nothing wants to click. So, hitting the like button in YouTube is the equivalent of you just like drip feeding the cocaine to the YouTube algorithm. It just loves that. So, by hitting the like button, YouTube goes, oh, I need to show this to more people. So, it does help out the channel a lot. All right, so let's dive into this. Please feel free to ask questions along the way. You guys know I'm riddled with ADHD, so I just get super distracted by everything. So I'm going to do the best I can to look right there and tell you what's going on. So 2022 was a really interesting year. You know, I started this 3 years ago, and in 2022, I decided to go full-time with YouTube. I was a personal trainer for 20 years, and I decided to give that up and go straight into full-time YouTubing. And it's been a real challenge last year. The 2 previous years, growth on the channel was kind of like taking off. And I thought for sure this is the year that I'm going to like, you know, I went from 300 subscribers to about 5,000 subscribers in the first year after doing YouTube for like 11 years. Then I went from 5,000 to about 20,000 next year. So I was like, I'm going to hit that 100K. It's going to go up again. And that did not happen. That was not the case. The first 2 or 3 months on YouTube was pretty good. The growth was happening. We're making money with the channel. Sponsors are coming out. And then the last 8 months, it just started nosediving. The last 3, and I'm speaking specifically from growth. I think my videos actually got better. I think I'm doing a better job of like telling better stories and giving you better information. But the growth-wise, like the channel just didn't do well. And for me, I started getting burnt out of some of the stuff I was doing because it was almost all product. It seemed like that was the only thing that was catching. The only thing that was getting traction was like product reviews. And as cool as products are, when you do it for an entire year, I kind of felt like I was just like a salesman at the end of the year. And that is not why I wanted to do YouTube. Sure, the money was great, but as I've just come to realize about myself, money is cool, but it's not as important as some other growth metrics. And for me, seeing the channel struggle month after month, just kind of like falling, and me doing whatever I possibly could, thumbnails and titles, and it just still wasn't working out. But at the end of the year, I kind of felt like I was just like a salesman. And that's not fun. Like, here's the thing, all the products that I showcased, especially the sponsored videos, those are products I love and I use all the time. We did a sponsored video by Chili Sleep. We did a sponsored video by 8 Sleep. We did a sponsored video by Whoop. That was incredible. We did a sponsored video by Juggernaut BJJ. And I'm struggling to think of the other ones. There are probably like 1 or 2 more, but we didn't do that many, right? Like 6 in an entire year. We did that really small integration with Cuts Clothing, but they make awesome stuff, and I think that's a great fit for the channel. So it wasn't so much that I was just taking money from everyone and anyone. It's not like I sold out or anything, but at the end of the year, I was like, man, all I'm doing is like pitching products. And personally, as cool as I think those products are, they will never be as cool or interesting as a person or philosophy or some sort of paradox. And so this year, I really, really, really want to post videos. I want to get away from the products and post videos on people who use those products, people with really interesting stories. I want to tell a better story. So I'm looking to do more collaborations with people, and I've already landed my first huge one. This is going to be an awesome video, just something that I've kind of experienced in my personal life, behind the scenes, behind the curtains, something that I need to do with my own life to like improve my mental health. As I was making this video and kind of putting the script together and thinking about it, I was like, man, I really need an expert. I want more experts in my videos. And this is a friend of ours, but he's pretty big time. And I hit him up. And I was like, hey, do you want to join forces? And he definitely said yes. I mean, he could have said no, but he said yes. And so this is going to be an awesome video. I don't want to give too much away, but that will be coming out soon. A part of this like burnout that I'm talking about, like just going, it's hard to get really excited to make a video when your channel's doing this and you're like, I've got this amazing idea, but if I put it out there, it's not going to go anywhere. And I think somebody, Amanda and Raphael both mentioned the 24-hour challenge video. You know, that's probably the best video I've ever done. It certainly was the most intense from like a planning and a production side. I did that video, and that's the thing, like that video is really interesting because I was like, okay, Whoop does really well on my channel. Now I've got Whoop actually willing to sponsor it so we can go to Hawaii. So we got Whoop, we got a kick-ass location, we've got a much bigger influencer than myself, Drew Manning, Fat to Fit. He's a dear friend of mine, and he has a much larger reach. So I thought this was a home run. Plus, I went with the intent of making this thing just as filmic and impressive as I possibly could, and I was pumped. I spent weeks on the edit. We dropped it, and it did worse than my worst case scenario. And I think my confidence took a real blow after that because it was like, well, it doesn't matter what I make. Whatever I make is just going to bomb. And so in that kind of mentality, it's just, I don't want to post anything unless I'm super proud of it. So that's the thing with the Whoop video. I did take a hit to my confidence with other videos, but I'm still really proud of that video. Like, I can't deny like that video is a really good video. I had other people that I follow that reached out and were like, dude, the story is amazing. And I was super pumped about that. But anyway, short story long, I've got a video that's just about done, and I'm so hesitant to post it. I think it's a good video. Is it great yet? I don't know. But it's essentially like I wanted to kind of do how much did I spend in 2022 as a fitfluencer, a fitness influencer. Because all of the money that I spend on the 3 gyms that I attend, the home gym, and then all of the tech that I have to buy for all of the reviews here and all the other stuff that comes with it that like maybe the ordinary person doesn't. So I wanted to drop that video, but I'm just like, do I hit the button? Do I go live with that button? I don't know yet. It's pretty interesting. I would love to hear your thoughts if that's something that even interests you. But so that is kind of where 2022 went. It's still, I mean, we still ended up with, I think we're at like 27,000. So we grew by 7,000, and that's huge for some people. But it was slap in the face to what I was really hoping for. But it's not all lost. I've got a camera channel, and that's kind of the channel I post to when I need to like fill my cup creativity-wise. Is that the best way to say that? Probably not. So I'm still posting to there, but I'm really hesitant to just post. It's funny in YouTube, like it's kind of like a quantity over quality thing right now. Like you've got to post so much that you're just out there, and that just kind of causes burnout by itself, even if you are pumped about the stuff you're making. And that's not really the reason I got into YouTube, was to just make quantity. I wanted to really make quality. And so I'm struggling personally with like, what do I put out do I put out anything that I'm just not stoked on, even though that's what the algorithm is gonna like gobble up. So we're getting some questions. Let's get to it. First of all, Laurel Miller, thank you very much. I hope you've had a wonderful New Year. I will say that, my last video was like the goals video, and that was I want to say a week before Christmas. I took an entire week off Christmas. I've pretty much taken all of this time off, and it was awesome. It was the first time I've done Christmas without my folks or Melissa's folks. We just did it by ourselves. It's just me, her, and the dog. And it's not something I would want to do every year, but it was wonderful. It's probably one of the best Christmases I've ever had. New Year's kind of sucked. Here's a fun story. We booked a massage at a really fancy hotel. And the morning we woke up for the massage, it was New Year's Day, Sunday. It snowed like 6 inches in Salt Lake. I'm like, crap, Park City's going to have a dump, and there's going to be skiers everywhere. Traffic's going to be horrible. So we're like, we got to leave super early. Typically, it takes like 30 to 40 minutes to get to Park City. It took us like 2 hours, and they got 3 feet of snow, so it was bananas. And then when we got there, we were almost to the hotel, and then they closed the road. And that just kind of effed the whole thing up. So we're like, all right, let's grab some breakfast. We'll drive back to the house, and then we'll just kind of do whatever we want. And then we got back to the house, and the power was out. So New Year's sucked, but the rest of it was glorious. All right. So I'm hoping, did anybody out there also have a funny New Year's story they want to relate or share? Let's see. Does YouTube have a shadow ban process? Yes, it definitely does. You can ban people. And a shadow ban is essentially, for anybody that doesn't know, shadow ban is essentially like, I'm banning you from seeing my stuff, but they don't know. Let's see. The follow-up for this is bleak, but I'm not on YouTube. Different demographic niche than you, but never had an issue with growth or stats. Then in 2020, all platforms felt locked down. So that's actually when mine took off. So I decided at the very end of 2019 that I was like, I had a dream, and in that dream, I had a YouTube studio, and I was like going hard on YouTube, which is funny because I'd only dabbled on YouTube. It never really did anything. And then I started watching some YouTubers like Make Art Now and a few others. And I was like, wow, this is what YouTube can be. I would love to do that. That would be so cool. I built the studio January 1st of 2020 and started going. And then the lockdown happened. And because the lockdown happened and all of this influx came to YouTube, that's when everybody started getting eyes on my stuff, and it just kind of like took off. So I just happened to the stars aligned for me, essentially. Raph says, yeah, post it. Fitness and new starts are pretty big right now with all the New Year's resolution crowd. Yeah. So one of the second half of this video that I was thinking of, because it's kind of comical how much I spent in 2022 as a fitfluencer. I'm trying to make that a term. I want to be known as the guy that coined that. There's a lot of money that went into it. I mean, like whenever you do YouTube and you do product reviews, you're spending a lot because you have to acquire the products. They're not always sent to you, and then. Anyway, and then as a fitness influencer, some of those products are like crazy expensive. So I thought it would be kind of fun. But the second half of that is like, I need to give you more valuable information than just how much I spent. It seems kind of douchey of me to be like, this is how much I spent. Like it's some sort of a flex. It's not. So with that, I wanted to give you examples of like how to be more fit and healthy if you don't want to go that prototypical like gym route. Like, I've got a scenario for you if you just hate people. I've got a scenario for you if you don't like gyms. I've got a scenario for you if you're really limited in mobility and what you could do. So those are some things that I wanted to share at the end of the video. and then feed burnout into that, and it's like you really have to have less content, but consistent still good for me. That's 1 time a month. Yeah, so it's funny if you don't do YouTube. It's an interesting like career to explain to people like why it's challenging and why it can be hard. Because I mean, when you look at it, it's like, dude, you're just making videos and then you make money. Like that's the easiest job in the world. And if that's as deep as you look at it, yeah, it is pretty easy. But because it is a job, and you're relying on all these views and these stats to bring in money and grow the channel and get sponsors and so on and so forth, it's much harder than that. And because of that, it's really easy to get burnt out. Like, you know, the creative process does draw energy from your brain. Like, it's a resource. Creativity is a resource, and it's very easy to burn out of that. And if you do, creating good content is very difficult. So it's a weird place to be in, for sure. I'm that's the thing. I would love to go, you know, I made this goal last year of hitting 100K subs. And that's not a great goal because I have no say in the outcome. Right? Like that's an outcome I can't control. However, if I said like 100,000 subs, what do I have to do to get 100,000? I need to post 2 videos a week and then 2 shorts a week. Like that I have more control over, and that would be a better type of goal because at least that's me developing the habit that gets me that thing that I want. But I'm not ready to commit to 2 videos a week because the type of video I want to make, not always, is kind of like a Whoop 24-hour in Hawaii video. I want to make something you want to actually sit down and watch. Something that's crazy entertaining that will keep you glued to your seat for 10, 15 minutes. And that type of video does take some time. So I think there's going to be like 1 or 2 videos that are just kind of the easier video to watch. They're like 8 minutes long. I film them in a day. They take me a day to edit, so on and so forth. And then there's 1 big video. But it's really hard to commit to like, I'm going to do this 4 times a month, or a video every week, especially when you're burnt out. Let's see. And it says, post it. It is interesting. It helps that you guys are giving me some feedback. One thing I really like to use is the community feature on YouTube, where I can post up polls and get your opinions on this, because I also don't want to dump 20 hours, 40 hours into a video, which is not uncommon, for it to just like bomb. So Tyler says the quality is there, man. Keep going with the videos. They're awesome. Thank you. I do appreciate that. You like the support. And none of this. Hopefully, it doesn't come off as me just being a baby. Like, oh wow, it's me. I didn't get 100,000 views and the channel's tanking. No, those are just like personal things, and none of them have anything to do with you. Like, at no point did the Whoop video fail because you guys didn't show up. It's not like that at all. It's just like sometimes like things just bomb and you gotta like figure it out. Hey, Dylan Bates, the Final Cut Bro. So Dylan is another one of those friends on Discord like Raphael that's on the other side of YouTube that I follow. He is a brilliant editor, and I can't tell you how many times I've texted him at weird hours of the day like, hey dude, how do I track this? So you can all actually thank Dylan, because he has helped me so much in making my edits better. Thanks, Dylan. Says, worded that badly, meant could you be shadow banned for something simple like not... Could you be shadow banned for something simple like saying... Oh, that, I don't know. When you say shadow ban typically is a person banning you from their channel. So I'm not really sure what you mean. You can get demonetized for things, like if you have vulgarity in your videos. Like when you go to post, it'll run a series of checks to see whether or not you break any of their rules. You know, it's not breaking the rules, but like rules of monetization. And so those get posted up. But shadow ban is specifically when somebody bans you from their channel, not YouTube just banning you, period. Denise says, post it. Your content is great. Videos, awesome. Quality is amazing. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate it. I mean, this definitely helps, right? And I think that's just going to be a big theme of 2023 is much less product stuff. Products are cool, but very rarely do they add like real value to someone. And that's what I think this channel needs is way more value. So I want to do more value-based content. And so even though this one's a little funny because it's like, how much did I spend in 2022 being an influencer? That's the the douchiest thing I could possibly think of. I do want to end it with like some actual valuable things that the new person or somebody just starting out can gravitate to. I don't even want to attempt your name because I know I'm going to blow it, but thanks for the comments. Also, your quality is there and great. Thank you. That's what not following fitness channels and just following like filming and cinematography channels do. It's like if you can't have a good looking video after that, just shut it down. I think narrative-focused content over product reviews and spotlights would be really refreshing. I agree. Like, I just need it. Like, some of those products are really freaking cool, but I don't know how many times I can talk about thermoregulation or an Apple Watch. Like, the Apple Watch is like product of the year. It's so cool. It does so many cool things. But after like 3 videos, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I think they get the point. I need to pop this back up because I didn't read the rest of it. Collabs are great, but stories of just day-to-day people using fitness tech or their fitness stories. Yeah, so, yeah, they don't all have to be epic adventures, right? Like, I'm not trying to recreate Troy here. I just want to get really cool people involved. Working on Andrew Huberman, so let's see if that happens. But that would be pretty rad. Preston, question and comment. You got it. It doesn't seem like you were alone in the degradation of growth rate. Any thoughts on YouTube policy that could have impacted that? There's a lot of people that took a hit. Like I've asked some of my friends on the side of YouTube that I follow, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, YouTube is suppressing views." But I've also seen the opposite of that. My friend Shervin, like, just in the last 2 months, his channel doubled. That's the thing, like, I don't know if YouTube is actually going, less views for you and less views for you. I really think it is like the cream rises to the top. And Shervin's videos, the video he did on the Apple Watch, it got like 1 million views, I want to say, in just a few days. The only way you're doing that is if you have a killer title, a killer thumbnail, but people watch the whole damn thing. And that video, it wasn't the most highly produced video. It wasn't like crazy. It wasn't like anything like that. It was just so engaging. Like, he nailed it. And it just skyrocketed his channel. And every video he's been making, they're much lower on production quality, but it's really hard to not watch the whole thing. Shervin, if you watch this, nice work. So I've seen both sides of it. It's just hard right now. Like, it's changing, and it might be prioritizing different things, what people want. I've had several friends go, dude, your videos look too good. You got to make them look worse. And the reasoning behind that is kind of like phone content right now is blowing up because it almost feels more authentic. Like, the less produced a video is, the less fake it comes off. The less fake, the more authentic. People gravitate to that. However, I morally, like, my little moral compass can't do that. I got into this so I could make the best production value type of videos I could possibly make. Like, I want to get better at this. This is a skill that I want to develop. So making stuff look worse on purpose or film with a video just because I can get more views. That's not what I just don't have an interest in that. These are great questions, Preston. Let me know if I answered it completely. Raph, have you explored using ChatGPT to spark content ideas? Okay, so I'm on ChatGPT, and in the context that you've asked, to spark content ideas, I haven't. And I would love for you to kind of follow that up and maybe explain. All I've used it for, and we're talking when I used it one night. Me and my wife were like using it because it was like, can we use this to like write scripts? Because script writing can be pretty hard. And it blew my mind how fast it wrote a Whoop script for me. So, and I've heard it's just getting better and better, and it's going to get to a point to where a Terminator shoots me in the face. That's kind of scary, but until then, yeah, it's pretty rad. Let's see, Saunders. Hey, Brandon, hope all is well. I used to play volleyball with you back in the day at Dixie and Vernon Worthen. Holy shit. Glad to see you working hard. What's up? That's crazy. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Dixie and Vernon Worthen, that would have been like 15 years ago. Woo! You said you were going to do different exercise videos and mentioned a limited mobility one. I love that. Fitness YouTube lacks that heavily. So, yeah, we'll see. There's a part of me where that's like, I would like to do it because it's value, but then another part of me that's like, there's so many people doing this kind of stuff. I know you say one thing, but like I've seen a bunch of different things. And then I'm also just like, do I want to do more personal training things? And you got to understand, like, even though I did personal training for like 20 years and I was pretty darn good at it, lots of accreditations, specializations, etc., worked with professional teams. When you don't do it for a certain amount of time, it's been really like 3 years since I've been doing it hardcore, you kind of feel like you're not versed enough in it, you're not current enough in it to add real value. And then you start having that, what do they call it? Like, not inferiority complex, but it's basically where you're like, imposter syndrome. I'm experiencing that. It's like, can I actually add real value? And if I post this, how many other people are just going to come onto my channel, watch the video, and then like call me out for being a hack? It's really weird. Wise Guys, the show. I love the Whoop video. Thank you. Wise Guys show. Is that the comedy thing? That would be pretty rad. You know, we love that video. The coolest thing about that video, besides Drew's hospitality, Drew, you're the man. If you guys don't follow, here, I'm going to put him in this. Fit, too fat, too fit. I'm gonna tell you something about Drew. The first time I ever met Drew was at FitCon in Utah, which is just like a douche central anyway. I thought this guy's gonna be the biggest dork in the world. I was like, this guy is like just way too over the top. And he's not. Drew's actually one of the most genuine, like kindest people I've ever met. And he really is just like one of my best friends. And it gutted me that he moved to Hawaii. Get why he did it. He's next to his family. He loves it there. I always give him a hard time because he's got like all these Hawaiian tattoos. I'm like, you're not Hawaiian. And then when I went, I like found out that his family's been there for like 100 years. So he's been there for a little bit. Anyway, Drew's just like the nicest dude in the world, and it was so much fun to like go and hang out with him and have him show me around, and hopefully we can get back there. The other cool part of that video though was, even though it bombed, I'm gonna tell you this like right now. One of the other reasons that I don't want to do sponsored videos, well, I'm gonna give you even more bad. Let me rewind even more. So for this year, I took my prices of sponsored videos and I doubled it. And that will automatically price me out of nearly all jobs. I might only get one or two, but I think it it's good for both of us. One, you don't see as many sponsored videos, and like I said, I didn't sell, like, all the sponsorships I did make sense and they were authentic, but I just don't want any on there really. So if I do get one, it makes up for pretty much all the ones that I didn't get. Now last year I did some sponsored videos, and I think almost all of them but one tanked. They just didn't do well. And it's one of those things where I was like, was it the thumbnail? Was it the title? Like with the Whoop video, I spent, I'm not joking, a literal week on the thumbnail and the title. And I probably went through 9 different versions as it was posted. Like, because they just wouldn't get traction. And at the end of the day, I was like, I can't make this work. But pretty much all of the sponsored videos tanked. And Whoop really is the only one that was like, like, it would have been cool if it performed better, but we loved the video, and we definitely want to keep working with you. Everybody else was just kind of like, see ya. So it speaks to them as a company that they would continue to back me even when they don't perform well. Let's see. Your videos are too dim. You need brighter lighting on you. Are you talking about specifically right now or videos I've made in the past? And that's just like a creative, like, this room is a dark room though. Like, I get that tech videos like a MKBHD, he's like the king of the bright video, and I love that look. But because this room is like a dark matte gray, it's going to be super hard to achieve that. And the other thing is, like the other bright spots of the house that I could film in, like, I can't because there's like people and stuff. Let's see. And we've seen some sites traffic completely crash, going from 4 to 5K a month to less than overnight. May have affected YouTube as well. Yeah, there's been some pretty gnarly not restrictions, but just performance losses across all social media platforms. Content's interesting. Josh, my dear friend. Josh says, I'm here for whatever you post, Brandon. Love your videos, dude. Thanks, Josh. Josh is a super good buddy. Massive camera nerd like me. And that's pretty much all we do all day long is talk about cameras. We would absolutely annoy the shit out of anybody that had to listen to us. So that's why we just do it via text with each other. We don't get anybody else involved. That update was in May 2022, I believe. Let's see. Interesting stuff. Raphael says, write 40 video ideas. This is concerning ChatGPT. Thanks, Raph. I appreciate it. Write 40 video ideas for fitness motivation. Then it lists out ideas, and you pick the ones that would fit your channel, or modify the request. This automatic thing is driving me nuts. Modify the request to be a specific niche. Oh, we write. Okay. That's awesome. I gotta get back onto it. Thank you. Appreciate it, Raph. Raph, I'm telling you, there's some people out there that are just like so ahead of the curve. Raph's one of them. There we go. That was weird. It wouldn't even let me click on your thing. I think it has to do with this auto thing. Need consistency, either serious or reliable schedule of product review, sports video, fitness video. Also, you doubt yourself way too much. I appreciate it. I do. It's hard. I've always had some sort of inferiority complex. And I would love to say, yes, more to the consistency, but there's this fine line of, it's like, what does my heart and my soul need? And what does YouTube need? And YouTube needs the consistency. The viewers probably need consistency. But at the end of the day, like, if I'm going to do this long term, maybe that means that I don't grow at the rate that I want to grow, but I'm here. Like, I don't want to think of this as a sprint. Like, this has got to be a marathon. I would love to get to 100,000 subscribers. That's really my only goal with YouTube as far as like growth metric. But if I get burnt out like every 3 months, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this for another 2 or 3 years. And I want to. So there's this tightrope that I'm walking of like, how consistent can I be? But I'm also a workaholic. So it's not like, you know, we took this time off for Christmas, and day 3 I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta make a video. And it's not because I get worried that if I'm not present on YouTube, then people don't follow. It's simply there are things in my brain that I want to get out that I'm like, I gotta shoot something. So I think consistency wise, like I was actually pretty good in 2022. I don't think I took any long breaks. I did one experiment to see how long I could go before viewership started to really decrease. But for the most part, it's been like a one video a week, sometimes 2 videos a week type of thing. Raph says we're all hacks. Yeah, in a way. That's true. Nobody's got their shit together. This is my wife, Melissa. Babe, I don't know what SpawnCon is, but it's tough all around right now. The sheer volume of UGC is burning people out, and brands are hyper-focused on, damn it, click rates, conversions aren't getting that it's an awareness play. We talked about this the other day. It's kind of interesting because my wife is on social media at a much more professional level than I am. She, like, her entire business, like, has to be on social media on every platform, and it's been fun helping her get onto YouTube. They haven't been on YouTube really, and this year they're gonna crush it. Mark my words. But it from like a sponsorship content. Maybe that's what SpawnCon is. Yeah. Oh, there she goes. Sponsored content. So sponsored content is really interesting because sponsors pay and they go, this video is going to do like 50,000 views. And they don't realize that sponsored content, like, what they're trying to do from a sponsored content is get you to buy whatever they're selling, right? It's like, hey, we made this thing on this product. We want you to post it because then people are going to click on it and buy it. Well, it typically takes the average person like 6 to 8 times of seeing the thing before they actually pull the trigger. So when you get sponsored content and it's a one and done deal, they're like, here, we're going to pay you this amount for one video, dedicated video. And then the sales don't happen because that's not how human psychology works. They get bummed and they're like, yeah, well, we'll see you. And so this is one reason they devalue content creators with small followings like me and overvalue content creators that have massive followings. Because it really doesn't matter, right? They go for the big ones because they're like just more clicks equals a certain percentage of sales. But anyway, sponsored content is tough because that's what they want to do. They don't want to go, okay, we want to be a sponsor for a few years on your channel. They're just looking at one time, one video. And that's kind of the other reason why I don't want to do it, is because it does feel very salesman-y. It's like, hey guys, here's this thing, here's the video, it doesn't really matter. And then there's just like, see ya. Anyway, every video should be evergreen. Case in point, I haven't posted in 3 months and grew 3K subs. It hasn't slowed down. That's awesome. I think most of my content is. I think it's pretty searchable. But this is, again, I could be totally wrong. I probably am totally wrong. Or the growth would be going up still. It's still going up, just like it's trickle. We'll see. This is why people need coaches. Like, everybody needs a coach. Even the coach needs a coach. Maybe it's time that I just hire somebody to help me out here. By the way, I'm picking up our dog at daycare. Thanks, babe. Saunders, I think the key to content is creating something that has real meaning to you. When you are passionate about the topic, you'll connect best with the audience and get loyal followers. I agree. I said that like I don't agree, but I do. I do agree. Like you definitely got to be passionate about. And that's why I'm hesitant to post stuff yet, because it's like, is my heart really into it, or am I just worried that people aren't going to watch it? That's kind of tough. That's where I'm at. But it's not like I'm not passionate about this stuff. Like, I love tech, I love fitness. It's been the better part of my half my life, 20 plus years has been in the fitness realm. So, and I've always been into tech. So I don't think it's a lack of passion, but maybe it's just like, do I really want to talk about another product? So I've got to find a different vein within what I'm talking about, and keep going after it like that. Saunders follows that up with, are you repurposing your content, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Reels, etc.? So I'm on Instagram, but I hardly ever use it. I'm not on Facebook, I'm not on Twitter, and I'm not on TikTok. So that, I guess that's a no. One of the things I also struggled with this year was just like being overwhelmed. It seemed like to get the amount of content out that I needed somebody. So for the last like 4 months, I've been looking for an editor. The first one was an absolute massive dud. Holy crap. But I found somebody that is awesome, and we're going to start working together in 2023, which is this year, dummy. So this year, I'm going to have an editor, and they're going to just help take so much pressure off my plate, which is great. Post and move on to the next. As you said, that is all you can control. So next, yeah, it's funny, like, the last 3 months have been like really kind of hard mentally, because you work so hard at growing something, you know, like one of the hard things is like on Studio, it'll tell you how well your video did in comparison to the last 10 videos. Like a 1 out of 10 is the best and a 10 out of 10 is the worst. So there's the thing that's always in your face saying how well one did. And then there's also like your channel is growing by this many subscribers per month. And in the last 4 months, it was literally halving. It was like, you started with 1,000, then 500, then 250, and 125. And you're just like, what is happening? And the same thing with like, when I post a video, it's like, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. And I'm like, dude, I worked so hard on these thumbnails. And the title is like, okay, so I just got rid of Studio, and that was kind of the first move I made to just hit post and move on. And I think it was the last 3 videos that I made, I did just that. I posted it, and I just like didn't even look. And I would wait for like a week, and then I would like close my eyes or cover up the screen. I would scroll down to like, how ridiculous is that? But I would like scroll down to the comment section, click on it, and then open my eyes. Okay, I can look now, and then I would start replying to comments. Freaking weird. Happy New Year, Josh. Gary Vee has a great slide deck about repurposing content. Yeah, you know, so I've watched a ton of these. Gary Vee, Alex Hormozi. I watched this one on Alex Hormozi about his like how they do all the content, and ultimately what it came down to is he spends $40,000 a month on a team, like a 20-person team that does all of this for him. I don't have 40 grand. I don't have a team. Like, at the end of the day, like, I still have the same amount of time. Like, I have 24 hours. I'm the only one that's writing the script, shooting the video, editing the video. I don't have anybody helping me. And that means like shorts. I have a kid. I have a wife. So creating like, what did he say? Like 9 pieces of content a day. That is a physical impossibility. If I also had $40,000 a month, I could definitely do it. So there's some limitations. Yes, like you got to repurpose content, but that takes time. And you can either work 18 hours a day and then kill yourself, or you can spend $40,000 a week. Set a bookmark to the comments page. I don't. Raph, are you talking to me? Dylan says you can pay me $40,000 a week. Dude, guys, it's so much easier when you're rich. Could you imagine spending $40,000 a month on a team of people to just like make content for you? That's the other thing. I have no desire to have like a team of people working for me just so I can grow. YouTube is something that I want to be like like this has got to be fun. This can be like the most fun job in the world. And if I can't make it work with this and not get burnt out, like I don't know if I could do anything else. But I want to do this a long time. But I also look at it as a skill. Very much a skill, not just like a career. And so I want to get as good as I can at some of these things. And sometimes divvying all this out, like yes, I would have more growth and I'd have more subscribers and more money if I hired a few editors and did all that. But at the same time, it's like I take a lot of pleasure in learning how to be a better editor, because maybe in 5 to 10 years, like I would love to actually make something cool, a short film or a documentary, something like that. And that's a skill that I'm going to need to do that. Yep, was talking to you. Set a bookmark to the comments page on YouTube Studio to avoid the analytics info. I see what you're saying, Raph. Thank you. Warren, yeah, not when you're making $200,000 a month on content for views and merch. Yes, it totally makes sense for him because he's making that money back. But that's the thing, like, I'm not, like, even with an editor, the amount of money that I'm making per video, that editor is going to cost more than that. So you kind of have to have like a pretty substantial amount coming in already before you do that. But yes, it really would be nice if I had just like maybe a second shooter / editor that I could like collaborate every day with, and that would make this whole process a little bit easier. But things have got to uptick first. And if they don't uptick in the way that they do, then I've just got to make sure that I'm making things that I freaking love and that I know you'll freaking love. And then hopefully in the end it just catches. There's a guy on YouTube that I really admire named GX Ace. If you want to watch his stuff, if you're into cameras, it'll blow your damn mind. I first started watching him like 3 years ago, and he was one of those people that when I watched, I was like, this is what YouTube could be? Like, this is what YouTube is? I always thought of it as just, like, dumb prank videos and stuff like that. And where you would, like, how do I set the time on my G-Shock watch? That's kind of what I thought YouTube was. I didn't see it as a narrative soundboard. And you watch GX Ace's stuff, and it is, like, Ridley Scott alien level production value, sci-fi. It's just so weird. And he was so weird. His stuff was so out there. Like, he did like this dystopian future helmet with wires and shit, and that was like his talking head. Imagine me here with like a pretty much a solid dark room with a helmet with all of these wires, like I was connected to the like metaverse. And I remember the first video he did like that. Like, all the comments were like, what the F is this, bro? Like, you're on some weird shiz. And people were giving him like a ton of hate. Well, he's stayed true to that. And just in the last like 2 months, his channel is like taking off. Because now people see it and they're like, dude, like this guy is original. He's got a ton of creativity. Everything looks amazing. So good on him. Hopefully something like that would eventually happen. Uploading to Facebook, Twitter, and Reels, etc. takes a little extra time, but it's just easy to copy and paste the titles of the script. Okay, so Saunders, I am doing that. Like, everything is linked in such a way that when I post, it does go to there, but I'm not taking the content and re-editing it for shorter form content all the time. I do it, but in the limited amount of time that I have. That's why I got the editor, because short form content is doing so well. Like, you can't ignore it at this point. So I got an editor who's fantastic, where I can take a finished video and go, these are the 3 reels I need, and and I will repurpose those on Facebook and TikTok and whatnot. But it's like, hey, these are the 3 videos I need. Go, and he just gets it done. Shervin, there's the man himself. My dog, love you. Shervin, I'm so proud of you. This guy worked his absolute ass off, and as jealous as I am of Shervin's growth, I'm honestly just super happy for the dude. He's gone so hard on YouTube for like the last year and a half. You just see how much time he like devotes to it, and I don't want to say something just clicked, because that's almost disrespecting him in a way, because it's not like Shervin was doing anything wrong and then all of a sudden he did it right. It was kind of like the audience just clicked. Like he just started making content that the audience was like, give me. Shervin's also in the same vein that I do, so we do a lot of similar stuff. So go support Shervin. Congrats, buddy, on the epic finish of the year. Warren, you stick to doing what you do best. You'll never do it as good as someone who's doing editing full time. Yeah, that's super true. Like Raphael and Dylan, the level of knowledge they have on editing is absolutely bananas, and that's why I'm so lucky to be in this Discord group with them, because the amount of time and knowledge I've just sucked out of their brain is almost unforgivable. Let's see. I think there's a Google Chrome. I literally got rid of the Oogle. It just stuck on. I think there's a Google Chrome extension that hides your analytics. There is, and I think it was Matt Diavella that made it. Let's chat YouTube strategy. I kind of don't want to. And it's simply just because I'm like burnt out of YouTube. I'm just going to make stuff for the camera channel right now, other than the collaborative video that I have coming out. That's going to be a cool video, though. I think you guys are going to really like that. Raphael says, I lucked out and my wife is my rough cut editor. No way. That's pretty rad. What's really funny is, like, my wife's never been on YouTube. She does, like, lives on Instagram. She's never had, like, a studio, and I, like, kind of helped her make her studio and do the lighting. And we got this Ecamm. We kind of like taught each other how to use it. And she's done it for 4 days. And today she came in. She's like, do you need me to check? Do you need me to check everything? She comes in. She's like, that looks good. That looks good. Okay. And then she leaves. I was like, what the hell? You're the expert now? Direct, make your movie, and employer editor. A lot of editors are also partners. That's cool. Yeah, I think that's... I've just always wanted to make something cool. I've got a documentary that I've been working on. I shot it, and then I didn't do anything with the footage for like 4 months, and I just started piecing through it. And it's a documentary on my friend Casey Patterson, who just retired from the AVP after playing for like 20 years. He's going to go down as a Hall of Famer, and probably the most loved volleyball player of all time. Him, Kerry Walsh, Karch Cry. Those are like the... Well, I don't know if you'd call Karch Cry most loved. But anyway, everybody loved Casey. And he was definitely probably the biggest personality ever in the AVP. So I'm excited to... That was my first like real hardcore documentary, and I love documentaries, so it'll be interesting to see if it works out. I'm anticipating needing to go back to California and getting way more interviews. I only had a week to do it. Most really good documentaries take months, if not years. Yeah, we are correct. Matt Diavella. Find a great editor, try them out, and offer them shares. I got super lucky, Warren, because this person is very reasonable on price. And they're super cool. Maybe start interviewing other tech people and then take that long-form content, cut it up, create a bunch of new content in the bunch of content in one 30 to 45-minute interview. Maybe start interviewing other tech people and then take that long-form content. Sorry, I had to reread it and cut it up, create a bunch of other content in one. Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that idea. And there are definitely some people that I want to collaborate with on the tech side of things, there's a guy that I met. This is going to sound really weird. So we did an event called the Sandlot Jacks. So our friends own GoRuck, and they invited us to Jacksonville for the GoRuck event, and we all went out to dinner. This is how it is. We go to dinner, and everybody there is like a big hitter. I was like, I do YouTube. I'm a very small YouTube creator. But one of the guys that we had dinner with is the creator of Pokemon Go and Google Maps. So he's a guy that I would love to connect with. There's a video I did last year, maybe the year before, on the future of fitness. I don't know if you can see it, but right down there is an Oculus Quest 2. So I did a video on the Oculus Quest about how the future of fitness is in gaming, which seems kind of hard to believe. But there are a lot of like reasons why you could use that and stay in great shape and love it. And it was really interesting talking to this guy that created Pokemon Go, because he kind of asked me that question. He was like, where do you see fitness going? Is like gaming a part of that? I was like, yeah, like I use this thing, amazing workouts. It's so much fun. You can connect with people. And then we started talking about Pokemon Go tournaments where people are like getting outside in the droves, and it looks like a zombie movie, honestly. But they're all out there having fun, connecting, walking around, like walking for miles and miles and miles, and playing a video game. So I thought that was really cool. But he's one of those people that I would love to do like a cool interview with. And Will Ahmed, I would love to pick Will's brain a little bit more. And since I've already kind of done that, my foot's in the door, I think. So there's a couple of cool people that I think we could get on the channel pretty soon. Let's see. Saunders, thanks for all the great information. Some of these I'm not like clicking on, but I am reading them. Doing interview podcast style content is way easier than other forms of content. Just throwing out there some ideas. I appreciate it. And YouTube is allocating a lot of resources right now towards podcasts. And I like podcasts. Me and my friend Katie have talked about doing one. But it's also something I would like to do. We'll see. My wife had a podcast for a while, and she hated it. And I can kind of see why, just because there was a lot of time that went into it. Acquiring guests, so on and so forth. But I would like to. I would love to have like one 45-minute video a week that's like a kind of podcast / video cast style. YouTube is also putting efforts into shorts to pull creators away from IG and TikTok. For sure. YouTube wants to rule everything, not just the short stuff. They want to rule it all. YouTube is going to allow monetization of shorts very soon. Yep. Zach. Hey, Zach. Zach connected with me on Instagram recently. This is my Instagram channel if you want to come say hi. Wow, I can't spell my own name. Bam. So hit me up. Zach says, what is your camera channel called? Here you go, Zach. This is what it's called. Oh, that's my name. This is what it's called. Caffeinated Cameras. So if you want to watch some camera channel stuff, come on there. It's pretty fun. It's low key. I've got, I think, 1,000 followers or whatever. I am monetized, and I've just haven't turned the monetization on. Well, no, that's not true. It's on. I just like to use songs that demonetize my channel. And I don't care. I don't care about the money on that channel. Not right now, anyway. You're doing great, though, man. I think you just need to tweak and keep grinding. Yeah, I appreciate it. That's the goal. Just keep grinding. Oh, I got my first thumbs down on a YouTube live. I can see it right there. That's kind of funny. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's not the saying I was thinking of. You gotta have haters or something like that. Anyway, wow, have we been doing this for an hour already? You guys have been great. Turnout was good. I thought we had a lot of fun. Do we have more questions? Please, if you have a question, hit me up. I love answering these. We don't have to talk about YouTube either. We can talk about whatever. Oh, thanks, Zach. It was awesome meeting you the other day. You're inspiring. Keep going. I will do my best. It was a pleasure to meet you too, big guy. Ba-da-dum. Hey, and for everybody watching that offered input, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hopefully it didn't come off as me being like, whatever, you don't know what you're talking about, get out of here. Because that's not the case at all. I do appreciate the info. It's also just one of those things where it's like, man, I really don't know what I want to do. So I have some ideas for the channel and some direction that I want to go. And then it's also one of those things that's like, you know, we don't know each other. We don't like have each other's psychology perfectly mapped out. So that's all. Saunders, thanks for being around here. He says he's got to run. Want to chat more. See ya. Peace. Let's see. Yeah. Well, people are bouncing. We've been on here for an hour. That was a good chat. Guys, thank you so much. Thanks for hopping in. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions, you can either leave them in the comments on this video. Thanks for all the thumbs up. 15 is really good for a live stream for me. If you have questions, like I'm happy to stick around. So if you've got one, fire it up. If not, we'll bounce. But if you do have a comment, leave it in the comments. Or if you do have a question and you don't see this until this is gone, please just hit me up on Instagram. I posted it. I'll throw it up again. You can send me a message there. I love connecting with people. That's the best thing about YouTube is the kick-ass community you can build. So, all right. Guys, thanks again for watching. I will catch you later, okay? Peace.